3, 2, 1. Boom, it's over. Well, look at you. Nah, don't scroll. Don't you dare blink, because something just snapped. Didn't it? Not a breakdown, not weakness, not fear. Something darker, something colder, something irreversible. You feel it crawling under your skin right now. That quiet shift. That silent explosion nobody heard. But it just rewrote your entire existence. They thought you were finished. They thought you were exhausted. They thought you were done. But what they didn't understand is that you weren't breaking. You were mutating. You see, pain didn't destroy you. It studied you. It dissected you. It rebuilt you into something they can't even recognize anymore. Every betrayal, fuel, every insult, blueprint, every sleepless night. A forge. They laughed when you were struggling. They ignored you when you were silent. They underestimated you when you were learning, and now they're about to witness something they can't control. Because you're not the same person anymore. You don't react, you calculate. You don't chase, you attract. You don't beg, you replace. That emotional version of you, dead, buried, forgotten. What stands here now is precision, is discipline, is controlled chaos. Let me tell you something they'll never admit. They were comfortable when you were weak. They loved you when you were insecure. They felt safe when you doubted yourself. But this version of you, oh, this one terrifies them because you've become unpredictable. You don't need approval. You don't need validation. You don't need permission. You move in silence and strike without warning. They thought they were watching your downfall, but what they were actually watching was the end of their era. The era where they had power over you. The era where they could manipulate you. The era where your emotions were their playground. That era. You just ended it. Now listen carefully, because this is where it gets dangerous. You've reached a level most people never touch. That moment where pain no longer hurts, it sharpens. That moment where loneliness no longer scares you, it empowers you. That moment where fear no longer stops you. It feeds you. You're not healing anymore. You're transforming into something they can't compete with. This is what becoming the final boss feels like. No noise, no announcements, no warnings, just presence, just pressure, just power. You don't chase revenge anymore. That's too small for you now. You outgrow, you outwork, you out-evolve. Because the real revenge is becoming untouchable. Look at your past. All that pain, necessary, all that rejection, strategic, all that suffering, perfectly designed to build this version of you. And now you walk differently. You speak differently. You think differently. There's a weight to you, a presence, a darkness that commands attention without saying a word. They'll try to come back. Oh, they always do. When they see you leveling up, when they feel your energy shift, when they realize they lost access to you, they'll come back. But this time, they don't get the same version of you. This version doesn't forgive blindly. This version doesn't forget patterns. This version doesn't lower standards. This version ends cycles. You've stepped into a zone where excuses don't exist, only results, only growth, only domination. So let them talk, let them doubt, let them watch. Because while they're busy trying to understand what happened to you, you're already 10 steps ahead. This is your era now, not luck, not chance, not coincidence, control. And the scariest part, you're just getting started, so go ahead. Walk into every room like you own the outcome. Move like failure isn't an option. Think like there's no ceiling above you, because there isn't. 3, 2, 1. It's over for them. You didn't just survive, you rewrote the entire game. And now, you're not part of the story anymore. You're the final boss they have. Good, because now, it's not them anymore. It's one face, one name, one shadow that thought it could define you. And you remember it, don't you? The moment that one person underestimated you, the moment they looked at you and decided, this one? Nah, not a threat. That was the biggest mistake they ever made, because while they were busy measuring you with their limited vision, you were evolving in silence. You watched, you listened, you adapted, you didn't argue, you didn't prove, you didn't beg to be understood. You let them think they were ahead. And that's what makes this so dangerous. Because now, because now it goes deeper, not louder, not messier, just deeper. Because what you've stepped into isn't just distance from that one person, it's elevation beyond their reach. And elevation, it comes with a different kind of silence. You don't feel the urge to explain anymore. That need? Gone. You don't rehearse conversations in your head. You don't imagine what-if scenarios. You don't crave understanding from someone who chose to misunderstand you. That phase of you. Finished. Now you see it clearly. That one person didn't just test your patience. They revealed your limits. And once you saw those limits, you broke them. You used to tolerate things that disrespected your peace. You used to shrink just to keep the connection alive. You used to ignore your instincts just to avoid conflict. But now, peace is the standard, respect is the minimum, and your instincts non-negotiable. That one person still operates in noise, trying to prove, trying to justify, trying to stay relevant in a story they no longer belong to. But you've mastered stillness. And stillness is power they don't understand. Because when you're still, you see everything. You notice the small shifts, the hidden intentions, the repeated patterns disguised as change. Nothing gets past you anymore. And here's what really changed. You stopped taking things personally. That one person's actions, a reflection of them. Not you. Their inconsistency, their confusion, their inability to grow, all theirs. Once you understood that, you became untouchable. You don't carry their energy anymore. You don't carry their chaos. You don't carry their unfinished business. You dropped it completely. And now your mind, clear, focused, sharp. There's no emotional fog slowing you down anymore. This is where most people never reach. That level where you're not driven by anger, but by clarity. Not revenge, but direction. Not proving a point, but becoming the point. That one person might still think they matter in your story, but the truth? They've become a lesson, a completed chapter, a closed door you don't even look back at. And the scariest part for them? You didn't close that door out of hate. You closed it out of understanding, because hate still ties you to them. But understanding, that frees you. Now you move differently. Every decision is intentional. Every move is calculated. Every step is aligned with who you've become. You don't rush anymore. Because you know something they don't. Timing favors the one who is prepared. While that one person is still reacting to life, you're designing yours. And that difference? It's everything. You've built a version of yourself that doesn't need external validation, no applause, no recognition, no approval. Because you already know your value. And when you know your value, you stop negotiating it. That one person might try to test you again. Subtle messages, indirect energy, small attempts to see if they still have access. but they won't find the same entry points. Because you closed them, all of them, no weak spots, no emotional loopholes, no unfinished attachments. You became solid, unshakable, and now, your presence alone sets the tone. You don't need to speak loudly, you don't need to prove dominance. It's felt. Naturally, that one person will notice it, that shift in your aura, that calm confidence, that quiet detachment. And it will confuse them because they're used to reactions. But you've become response, controlled, measured, intentional. That's a different level of power, so understand this clearly. You didn't lose anything. You refined everything. Your circle, tighter. Your focus, sharper. Your energy, protected. And that one person, they no longer have a role in any of... This is it. The final word. Not loud, not chaotic, just absolute. Because at this point, there's nothing left to prove, nothing left to explain, nothing left to revisit. You crossed a line most people never even see. A line between who you were and who you've become. And once you cross it, there's no going back. Not emotionally, not mentally, not spiritually. That one person, they belong to a version of your life that no longer exists. Let that sink in. They're not part of your present. They have no place in your future. They only exist in a past that built you, but will never hold you again. And that's power. Real power isn't loud. It doesn't argue. It doesn't chase closure. It doesn't need revenge. Real power is when you can look at everything that tried to break you and feel nothing but clarity. No anger, no attachment, no hesitation, just understanding. You understand why it happened. You understand what it taught you. You understand why it had to end. And because of that, you're free. Not halfway free, not temporarily free, completely free. That one person can't reach you anymore, not emotionally, not mentally, not energetically. Even if they stood right in front of you, they wouldn't have access to who you are now, because access is earned. And they lost it. You didn't just grow. You upgraded your entire standard. Now you see through everything. The fake apologies, the inconsistent effort, the empty words, the recycled patterns. It's all visible to you now, clear, obvious, almost predictable. And because you see it, you don't fall for it, ever again. That's what makes this the end. Not a pause, not a break, not a maybe someday. The end. You closed a chapter that once had power over you. And instead of looking back, you built something stronger ahead. You built discipline where there was once emotion. You built boundaries where there was once tolerance. You built self-respect where there was once doubt. And now you stand different. There's a calmness in you, a quiet dominance, a presence that doesn't beg to be noticed, but can't be ignored. That one person will feel it, even from a distance, even in silence. They'll feel that they no longer have influence over you. And that a realization. It will hit harder than anything you could have said, because silence speaks when transformation is real. You didn't just leave, you detached. You didn't just heal, you evolved. You didn't just survive, you became untouchable. And here's the truth, most people won't tell you. Becoming this version of yourself, it costs everything that was holding you back. Old habits, old attachments, old versions of you that tolerated less than you deserved. You let it all go. And that's why you're here now, stronger, sharper, unshaken. You don't fear losing people anymore, because you've realized something deeper. Anyone who disrupts your peace is not a loss. They're a lesson, and you've already graduated. So now, there's only forward. No revisiting, no rethinking, no reopening doors that were closed for a reason. Forward, into a life that matches your growth, into environments that respect your standards, into a future that reflects your evolution. And the best part? You don't need anyone to understand it. You lived it, you felt it, you became it. So this is the final word. That one person didn't define you. They revealed you. They didn't break you. They built you. They didn't end your story. They forced you to rewrite it. And now the pen. It's in your hands, completely. No interference, no control, no limits. Just you. And the version of yourself that refuses to go backwards. So walk forward like it's already done. Move like there's nothing left behind. Think like you've already won. Because in the only way that truly matters, you did. This isn't revenge. This isn't closure. This is evolution. And evolution doesn't reverse.